What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome. Good morning. Welcome to Hump Day with Hansen. I'm Hansen. We've got our guy Tommy T-Bone on the other side of the glass, and I'm curious to see how popular this little live stream is today, because we are obviously deep into the season, into the fantasy playoffs. Normally, we see a lot of people, falling by the wayside here heading into week number 16. Though it seems like we're still getting some action, but week 15 was pretty brutal. The early games were, I would argue, perhaps the worst 3 hours of football I've ever seen, other than the Jets getting it done here, as Thomas and I predicted on our live stream on Sunday morning. But it's been pretty bad here. We're not totally bare in terms of production, but man, it's just a lack of opportunity. We got dudes out there throwing 18 times in a game, like Kirky Cousins, who, of course, now the big news is he will be placing his buttocks on the bench as we are going with Michael Penix. Kirky has been benched, and that's fair. Penix obviously he doesn't have the processing and the brain and the experience of a Kirk Cousins, but he's got amazing compared to Kirky. I mean, he's like Kyler Murray out there in terms of escapability compared to Kirk Cousins, and that'll help. And he's got a very live arm. He'll probably make mistakes, maybe throw some picks, but he's got good receivers to throw to, good sizable receivers. You got a nice little balance there between your big X receiver. You've got the number 2 in Mooney, so pretty good spot there. But it was a brutal week, Thomas. I'm still just trying to get over it. We do need to move onward and upward. This is a game of failure. And again, there were good calls last week. I don't know why the week just seemed so empty to me, Thomas. Do you have any thoughts here? Your Ravens kicked ass, of course. I mean, I can't believe Bo Nix did so poorly. That was a shock. Bills, Lions came through. Tampa Bay, hey, I've been giving a lot of credit to Liam Cohen. This guy's awesome. It's like, hey, Buck fans, you lost Dave Canales. Guess what? That's good, because I think Liam Cohen is better than Dave Canales, quite frankly. From what I've seen on the offense, maybe Dave didn't get the blocking up front like they're getting this year. But yeah, we do move onward and upward, Thomas. Yeah. And how are the questions looking here today?
Questions look good. I will say, in terms of the week, I think there's just a sort of a dread hanging over this week, knowing how many possible fantasy options we're at risk of losing. If you just run the list, it's Jameis Winston, it's Judy, it's Tillman and Njoku, JSN, Metcalf, the running backs in Seattle if Sam Howell is playing. Because I'm sorry, but all of us being subjected to having to watch Sam Howell try to play football over the weekend, we should all get a certain percentage of our money back from the NFL.
You're a Howell hater, huh?
It was some of the worst CFL level football I have seen in a long time. I think he is awful.
Yeah,
so if you're looking at some of the and then like you mentioned with Penix, we're losing, maybe weren't relying on Cousins really, but I mean, Drake London has been steady all year, 15 and a half points per game.
Yeah,
for Drake London. And now we're like, well, how do you trust him? I don't know if you can. I think that's why this weekend has such a foul stench on it, because there was a lot of good on this weekend. I wanted to kick off this week 16 Hump Day with a question in the Discord.
Yeah,
we were discussing this morning in the Dynasty channel, not really Dynasty related per se, but wanted to know, what is it going to take in your mind for your Minnesota Vikings to bring back Sam Darnold? Is it winning the NFC and winning a playoff game to get to the championship game? Is it enough? Does he have to win it all? Because the NFC is now kind of wide open with 3 teams that
Yeah.
at 12-2. And
Yeah.
if they win this tough stretch, which is basically 3 playoff games for them, with you look at the opponents, with the last one being against Detroit, and then he wins a playoff game, is he the week 1 starter in 2025 for your Minnesota Vikings, or is he gone no
No,
matter what?
I think he's gone no matter what, because I think Sam Darnold has shown that this is a quarterback friendly situation. It's like Sam Darnold career in the toilet, and now we're talking about a long-term contract. Why? Well, because of the environment that he's in, which means freaking Daniel Jones might be all right in this offense next year if he's retained. I doubt it. I know that was a 1-year rental for this year in the run, but Nick Mullins, it's not a bad backup. Do you want to roll them for the whole year like you are with Darnold? No. So that's the one thing about Darnold. Like, he's still, I think, a backup, but in this spot, you can potentially, go win 14, 15 games, 14,
Right.
let's say 14. Yeah. But I'm going to say no, because look, we've been here before with these quarterbacks who they're almost all like this. Like, they're kind of good, but there's always that little downside. Like Kirk Cousins, perfect example. Where'd we go with Kirky? I was the one lobbying for Kirky to be signed in Minnesota at the Super Bowl that year. The Eagles Super Bowl victory over the Patriots was in Minnesota. I was there doing Sirius XM broadcast. I did a little broadcast in this little cantina. It was like a sponsored thing, but it was packed. It was inside because it was like zero. It was like -20. And I'm sitting there on the mic with like 100 people in the room, and I'm going, we got to get Kirk Cousins, Kirky. And so, and it happened. And then 2 years later, I'm like, there is a 0.0% chance that Kirk Cousins is leading the Vikings to a Super Bowl. Never say never in sports, except this case right here. So it's all JJ McCarthy.
Okay.
By the way, can we clip I know you won't, but just in case, if you feel motivated, I want to clip this. I would like to apologize to all the Discord people who sent me messages. I got completely consumed and swarmed. I have thousands of them, and if I look at one, then I may pass out. So I am very sorry for not being good on Discord and recording. Thank you.
Hey, I got it. I
I feel bad. I feel horrible. I have people, hey, guru, blah blah blah. They love me. These people love me, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm very, very sorry. I don't know how I can make it up to them though. I mean,
the problem is it's very easy to spread ourselves entirely too thin, and you know what? We're gonna make it work, and I'll let them know. I'm gonna get the message out there for you, Guru.
Yeah.
From you to them.
Here's the bottom line, real quick, because in my old age, I don't do not as productive. I mean, you can't ask a man to be as productive as he was 28 years ago or even 18 years ago. So I'm to the point where all my energy is on, it's almost all, like 96% of my energy is just on covering this league. And there just isn't anything left over, basically, at the end of the day. That's it. I'm being completely honest with people. It's like, do I want to spend an hour on Discord or bone up a little bit more on this week's things like that, and it is a little overwhelming, like, just too many messages everywhere, and I kind of have shut it down a little bit. Like, I haven't gone on Instagram in like 4 months. And
You're not missing anything.
No, I know Instagram is awful. I haven't posted. I'm proud to say, by the way, I have not posted on Facebook. Very proud of this. For 8 years.
Oh,
very
wow.
proud. Very
There
proud. Yeah.
Deleted mine.
I like it because mine, I used to be active just to catch, for about 10 years, to catch up with people that I don't really see, whatever. I also have to prove to everyone I went to school with that I was way more successful than they were. So once I did that, I mean, what am I doing here? I mean, why even bother? I'm kidding, not kidding there, but I lost my train of thought, but there's just way too much stimulus. I'll never forget that, by the way, the first year I kind of started blowing up a little bit on Twitter. I kind of got I had some controversial tweets in the early days. And I went viral a couple of times. That's how, and that's Joe Dolan's theory. I think he's probably right. That's how I have the followers that I have, because I was pretty wild on Twitter. But one year I remember, like, I always try and please everyone, so I'm like hosting the serious show myself, a pregame show, while updating projections and keeping up with everything, and I'm trying to answer tweets. And it was just like that's inhumane. Like and I just bailed. at that point. I'm like, I can't do this.
As when you get to like a point where you have, that many people at once, it's just a general base understanding that you do what you can, and that's something that's important for people. It can be frustrating, I understand that, but do always being sincere about the effort being put in, I think goes longer than answering, goes farther than answering every single person disingenuously would be. So I think that's important as well, and I'm sure people understand that kind of look at it too. With that being said,
I absolutely I mean, I feel horrible about not being, there for people who support me, in my endeavors or whatever, in our endeavors. I mean, that's not the way I'm wired, but again, and that's why I struggle with it. I mean, it bothers me, but I just can't do it. And it's just, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Discord also, I'll say, is just like an animal. It is its own living organism. It is like, it's its own creation, a totally different environment. So I totally get why people can kind of get frustrated or upset or overwhelmed, if you would. It's a lot. It's a lot. But Guru, we have a lot of people anxiously awaiting. Very early reminder. This is very early in the week for us in terms of predictions. I don't think I've looked at my rosters yet. Once I don't look at them until after Wednesday, really, when I start looking at making decisions. So, we're going to get a little bit of an early look here.
It is early.
Let's kick this off, Guru, and we're going to have good vibes only, and we're marching through. We've got.
Oh, by the way, I'm in the playoffs in the Fantasy Points Dynasty League. Let's go, baby.
That's what's up. Semifinals for you. Let's go.
Oh, my God. This team was so bad last year. Oh, I mean, I sucked. Let me pull this record up real quick. I mean, this is unbelievable. 2023 league. All right, here we go. And granted, I missed some waiver wires. I didn't work it. All right, I was 4-11 last year. Oh my God, 4-11. And by the way, week 1, I forgot to set my lineup.
How the turntables!
And I got a goose egg. And somehow, of course, guess who my quarterback is? You won't believe this. Patrick Mahomes.
Oh.
Oh my God. So it's me. Look at this. Me against the grinder. And Paul Kelly against Joe Dolan. How about that? The old Guru crew just representing over here.
Yes, the top 4. Well, I mean, Joe Dolan's getting some real good dynasty advice with dynasty points when he hops in my DMs. So you better watch out, Guru. Joe Dolan's got a few new tools in the tool bag.
Well, he's got freaking Lamar.
Yeah, that helps. I mean,
no. Oh, he's done. He's done. He's got his running backs. His top 2 running backs are David Montgomery and Alvin Kamara.
Oh, that is brutal.
He's rostering Jalen Coker. He's got McLaurin here, BTJ, who I passed on for Ladd McConkey. Oops.
To be fair, you're not doing that far off. Ladd is now my last year's rookie wide receiver 3 ahead of Marv. So I mean, you're doing pretty good with
Doing
lad.
all right. Doing all right. Yeah. So my
He is a
starting
good lad.
lineup. If I have all my guys, I actually have Jerome Ford.
There you go.
So
There you
I'll
go.
be rolling.
Man,
I'll be rolling with Mahomes, Jerome Ford, Jameer Gibbs, Johnny Taylor. I don't know, Javante maybe. And then my receivers: Josh Downs, Cooper Kupp, Lad McConkey, DJ Moore,
you can get there. I believe in you.
Njoku.
I mean, DTR targeted him 40 times in his previous playing time, and Joku's going to be his number one target. So he's healthy. I think you got a shot, Guru. You're not out. You're not out.
You know what
yet.
I did that screwed? I mean, the worst move ever. When if people listening say, I always say stuff like, because I say things publicly and like I'm not lying here, but you know, I love TJ Hawkinson coming out. I said this guy is an absolute stud. And for some reason, I thought I could get him a round or two later in this initial startup draft in 2020, and I took freaking Tyler Higbee. I did plan on getting a Hawkins. I don't know why. One pick later, the grinder took Hawkinson. I'm like, oh crap. Oh man. But you know what else I drafted in this league, by the way? I passed on freaking my guy Taylor because I was too obsessed with the here and now, and I took freaking Zeke. So I had to freaking make good on that. So I traded Taylor I traded for Taylor and I traded AJ Brown.
Oof.
Not good.
You know, sometimes your decisions can be like it happens. If you go back and look through my trade history, you're gonna find some of the worst blunders possible. Like last year when I traded DJ Moore for Aaron Rodgers before week 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, didn't work out for me.
Well, you know,
7 snaps in, and DJ Moore had the best year he could possibly have, and I still had no QB2.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's true. You traded him away for nothing, basically.
Nothing.
You literally traded him for nothing. But you know, I know we all want to win, but I've always been a little. I mean, we're supposed to be having fun with this, right? Like we're supposed to enjoy the NFL a little bit more. I was a massive John Taylor guy. I'm like, this guy's one of the best running backs I've ever seen. Like I was so high on him that I had to get him, basically. And it hasn't gone well, but I still love Johnny Taylor. Although that play last week was very un-John Taylor. Like, come on now, bro.
Stop dropping the ball at the 1.
Come on.
Like, get across the line. I don't get it. I have scored touchdowns, and both hands were on that ball. Well, granted, both hands were on that ball because I was so shocked that I got across the goal line. Let's not kid ourselves here. That I couldn't believe or even half plan a celebration. But I don't get it. We got Deshaun Jackson started the craze from what I remember, and it needed to be left with the first time he did it in college. People lost matchups because of that.
Trying to make the fucking make the highlight reels or make a meme or I don't know. Everyone's like I know we're all on camera. 10? What's that?
The Sports Center top 10?
Yeah, they're trying to be too slick, too cool. Like,
I don't get it.
Just there's a guy who was born 10 days before me who is a Hall of Famer, and the man literally never celebrated once. Barry Sanders.
Yep.
So
I'm down for the celebrations. I just want you to get across the goal line. Right? Like that.
Right.
Like, know where you're at.
I'd rather have a guy who defaults to handing the ball to the ref.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, if the difference is like dropping the ball at the 1 ever or never getting to celebrate ever, just choose never celebrating and give the ball to the ref, because oh my goodness. And that killed the Colts. That cost the Colts the game.
I mean,
like, it allowed Denver to come right back after that. It changed the total dynamic of the game. Anthony Richardson looks exactly how we thought he would, which is terrible. And the Colts can't win the game, and now the Colts are completely out of a playoff push. So that one play not only cost fantasy, but real life.
Brutal.
We got a couple here. We'll kick this off with Willie Rosa and the 5. Appreciate it. He says, let's say Ken Walker and Kamara sit this week in PPR. I need an RB2 and 2 flexes out of Brees Hall, Jerome Ford, Zach Charbonnet, Kendry Miller, and DJ Moore. I understand why he's asking the question.
All right. So the RB2, I mean, I'd go Ford over Hall. I mean, I don't know what to think of Hall. I mean, it is a pretty good matchup for Hall. So let's see for now, let's see what he does in practice and all that. It's a decent spot for Ford, but you do have DTR. So if Brees Hall does a lot more, let's say he's limited today and a full go Thursday, Friday, then I'd have to go Hall over Ford. But I think I'd rather just go with all running backs here. Can we do that? RB2, let's call that Ford. And then the 2 flexes, one of them is Charbonnet. And then I would, if Brees is in decent shape, let's say, even if it's like limited Thursday and then full Friday, I think that's enough for me to go Hall over DJ Moore. Because I DJ Moore last night, I mean, it's bad. It's just bad. I mean, the guy averaged like 5 yards a catch, for God's sakes.
That's true. Previously against Detroit, though, 16 targets, 8 receptions, 97 and 1. The last time they played Detroit. And he's had 16, 8, and 8 in terms of targets over the last 3 weeks, but they've amounted to, like you said, almost jack squat.
Yeah, and based on alignment numbers, he'll see Arnold. I don't love that. The rookie, who's been pretty good. He's been their stingiest corner. It's brutal. I mean,
I agree.
There's no plan on offense and defense. The Bears are just they're nasty. I mean, it's brutal.
I agree. I like your call here. Junk Food John says, have Pickens and Quentin Johnston, who plays Thursday. What do we do? Also have Brenton Strange and Kendre. Any waiver wire bottom feeders to look at? I don't know if Pickens plays fully.
I don't think he's playing. He didn't practice.
I mean, I would like that. I would like that. Personally, as a Ravens fan, I would love him not to play.
Yeah. I did like Quentin Johnson this week.
Yep.
I did 10 touchdown props on the VSiN show. Props on guys who do well and score like all over the place. It's like, really? Come on. So I'm like, you know what? Let me pop out a list of 10 touchdown props I like. 9 and 1, which I'll never do again this year. But then on Monday, I went 2-0. So I'm actually 11 and 1 on touchdown props since I started tracking this. I said, let's assume I'm betting $100 on each one, and we'll track it by bankroll. So I'm up $1,500 right now. But Quentin Johnson was like plus 230 or 40. It was a pretty good number. Let me see here. By the way, you made a good call on Brenton Strange, although my call wasn't bad either. On Sunday's live stream, if you recall, we were looking for that skank streaming tight end, and I went stone smart. I mean, he got 10 points.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Brenton Strange has just been my guy on the dynasty side, so if I get the opportunity to talk about him, Guru, you might have to shut me down.
I mean, he's getting targets. I mean, that's obvious. Like
he blocks, he stays on the field. He's athletic, former second round pick. The Coach Speak, if you're following Coach Speak Index, has been glowing for him. And I mean, he's produced every single time Evan Ingram has been out this year. He's just an absolute smash play the rest of the year.
It's a great option. I would use Strange over Quentin Johnston and probably and probably Kendry Miller because by the way, we controversially last week, I had a hot take on Kyle Pitts in this exact matchup. And while Pitts, of course, I lost the prop by 1 yard, he was the leading receiver on the team.
Yeah.
With the most targets and receptions. And that was because of the matchup. So all we needed for Pitts to have a solid game was, can you throw it? Like, I don't know. Let's act like it's the 70s and not the 40s. And let's throw it 27 times. If we do, then Kyle Pitts does well. But yeah, Brenton Strange is looking very good in that matchup. Are we comparing Quentin Johnston to Strange? I would go Strange over Quentin Johnston. And Quentin Johnston is, who knows? I mean, schematically, you like him against the zone. Denver doesn't play a ton of zone, actually, so it doesn't look like a great schematic here. Oh, horrible schematic matchup. So no. Oh, he's dead. He's going to see Surtain a lot too, probably. Not a shadow, but yeah, he's screwed.
Yeah, hard to argue with you there. I like that call. I'm also playing Brenton Strange. He's doing it with Mac Jones, 11 catches, 73 yards. I mean, this is just the Doug Peterson role, and this is all you could. You're basically, you wouldn't be questioning if he was Evan Ingram, and you're just getting 80% of Evan Ingram's athleticism and 90% of his production. So let's just lock it in. Rob Milner, he says, how does the schematics look for Nico Suave this week?
Oh, let's take a look. Very good. It's a plus, and you know why? Because Nico is. I mean, he might be the best receiver in the league. I mean, because he's freaking up there, man. Because there are no bad schematic matchups. Basically,
I have him as dynasty wide receiver 5, I believe, right now.
Yeah, well,
it's hard to put him ahead of like Puka, Chase, Jefferson, and Amon-Ra.
I actually updated mine.
Nico.
I updated mine recently. Let me see where I had them. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that, but I did go through it.
I got to redo mine as well.
Yeah, I of course I can't find it because I can't pull it up. But anyways, yeah, I might have them. Well, actually, I can pull it up on the site real quick. I might even have them a little higher. I'm just curious, but looking good here because there are no bad schematic matchups for Nico Collins. They do play a lot of man. Hey,
you have him at 5.
Okay, all right.
You have him at 5.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Who do I have above him?
The same 4 I just listed.
Oh, okay.
It's Chase, Puka, Amon-Ra. It's hard to put. And like Puka's making an argument for number 2 if Jetta and Chase were just so good.
Yeah, I did put Marvin Harrison up there just from a pure pedigree talent standpoint. I had to give Amon-Ra a little love, although I guess I'm lowest on him. Okay. Yeah, BTJ, I did not think that he would be this good right away.
Hard to think anyone's going to be that good. We're talking about Odell Beckham Jr. level good here.
True.
For people wondering where you get that from, Tom, you can get that from the Everything Report. Unreal job that those guys did this week for the Everything Report, and I got to tell you, what they have for Brian Thomas Jr., insane.
Yeah.
But you are right. There is no bad schematic matchup for Nico Collins. He's just an absolute play. He had 4 catches. It just so happened 2 of them were touchdowns. Like CJ Stroud has been bad, not just bad for fantasy, but bad. And Nico is still just absolutely dominant. So playing him all the time. We have Steve in America, PPR. I love that name. That is the YouTube name for the account. I love that, Steve. Phenomenal. He says, morning, Guru. PPR league, if Pickens is out, do you go Mooney or McMillan? And at RB, do you go Warren or Amir Abdullah? He says, thank you.
Yeah. Love Amir Abdullah. I was a huge Amir Abdullah guy, but that was a decade ago. I give him credit for sticking around. Love McMillan. I did say 3-4 weeks ago, guys, pick this dude up, man. He's a baller. No one listened, but because he was available in like 80% of freaking Yahoo leagues. Let's see here. I would go Warren. I just think Warren is a little more stable. And, by the way, I bet you he had a good game in the first matchup. Let's take a look. Oh, no, my bad. Jesus. Oh, wait, no, that was last week. Oh, yeah, here we go. He had 9 carries, 41, 4 for 27. Hey, that's 10 points. I trust Warren way more there. Mooney or McMillan is. I mean, I'm defaulting to McMillan because of the quarterback change. I mean, look,
Have to.
Penix could unlock Mooney. I mean, he's got a very live arm, as you know, and that could be wonderful for Mooney. But then again, I think I'd rather go with Kirk, like a not washed Kirky is still better than a raw first start Penix. I mean, let's
Yeah, and
be honest.
McMillan's a league winner.
Yeah,
Dallas, Carolina, over in the semifinals and the finals. Bucks are going to be throwing the football, and Baker's playing unreal. I mean, you get 10 points from this guy, you're happy. You get 15 to 20, you're ecstatic.
Yeah, not the greatest schematic here for McMillan, but hey, man, look, as I wrote in the waiver wire, I'm like, I mean, what else do I have to say? He's an ascending guy who's got a real future for this in this offense. Real future. Like, I know Godwin's there, but he's got multiple injuries and Evans is old. So it's one of the 5 to 6 best offenses in the league, and Baker's dealing all year. Like, what else do we want here? And then Trayvon Diggs, he's on
out.
IR. He's out.
Yeah.
So
He just had surgery. Jordan Lewis is questionable. Carson's on injured reserve. Overshone is out on injured reserve.
Yeah.
Marcus Lawrence is on it. They've got nobody left on defense.
Overshone though, because it's a on here. Really loved the game. He's overshone, and then he got hurt. So there. But if it helps,
over.
Is it that bad?
Oh, he wrecked his knee. Like, it's multi-ligament, complete dislocation as well, from what I read up. Second injury to his legs. It really sucks. I say career, but this dude is a future rotational guy in 2027. Like, it's really sucks.
Yeah. By the way, for what it's worth on McMillan, like, you want to talk about a vibe test? I interviewed Jalen McMillan. That dude is awesome. I remember joked around with him. I said something off color to him off the air, and he was like, we were like laughing like dudes in a locker room. Like, he's I love that guy. Like, I just love he's just got a really good personality, persona, like really good vibe kid. And I've said that for and gave him some love. Godwin went down, and I'm like, crap. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But then he started coming on. I'm like, 3 weeks ago, I'm like, this guy, like I said, I think I might have said league winner. Sneaky playmaker, baller. I call him a baller. Like, no one listened though. But yeah, I mean, this is what you're looking for down the stretch here, catching lightning in a jar.
Yeah, absolutely. Rookies in the back half, man. You can't really deny it.
Yeah.
So Ethan Batterman says, good morning from South Jersey. I need one receiver, one flex, and a PPR. DK Neighbors, Garendo, and your man Shakir.
Wonder how the weather is in South Jersey. I bet you it's a little warmer than usual because today in southern Georgia, it's like summer out here. So I'm guessing it's probably like 64 in South Jersey. Real quick, let's take a look and see how close I can come. Let's take a look. Maybe not. Incorrect. 52. My bad, dog. All right. Because I thought it was a little warmer here. It's only 69 here, but it feels like, I guess I'm in the sun. It felt like it was 80 before. Anyway.
What's that like? Oh,
what's
my
that?
Goodness. Warm temperatures this time of the year. I wouldn't have any ideas. It's minus 32 where we're at right now.
Oh my God. If I went right now on my back deck, which faces the east and the sun is coming up, still going up and it's over, it would legitimately feel like August in New Jersey.
Oh my goodness. I wish. I'm truly jealous. People wonder, Tom, how can you be in so many dynasty leagues? How can you possibly? Because I can't go outside without fear of losing a limb due to
Right,
frostbite.
right.
When you're locked inside 8 months of the year, you find a lot of time for startup drafts. Okay, it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Well, that reminds me of I went like 10 years ago to a dermatologist because I had a couple things. My wife said, you should probably get looked at. I'm like, all right, fine. So I went to get like an exam.
Yep.
And the guy's like, how old are you? So I told him. He goes, you have the skin of a man 10 years your junior. He's like, your skin is 10 years younger. He goes, you know why that is? I'm like, oh, I know exactly why. I was like, I didn't go outside for 20 years. That's why.
Yeah, it paid off. It paid off, Guru. Here we are. I'm on my way. Thank you, insanely, ridiculously cold weather. But as for Ethan's question here,
Oh yeah. Sorry, Easton.
hey,
Or
we're
Ethan.
having a good time on a week 16, and that's that matters. DK Neighbors, Garendo, and Shakir are a receiver and a flex.
I mean, I think we kind of have to go Neighbors.
I mean, yeah, I would agree.
I did not. I mean, that was a tough one last week.
Yeah,
because
Boyle
who the hell knew Boyle was going to come out and be all right? Like
death taxes and Tim Boyle finding a way to throw a pass every season.
Garendo. I mean, Garendo's not bad.
Not bad. I can't play DK. I can't play DK anymore. I'm over him.
I know.
I don't know about you, but I'm over him.
I hear you, but I do think he'll do well against Minnesota especially if Gilmore doesn't play. He hasn't been placed on IR, right?
I don't believe he's on IR. It's just JSN, and
no,
then you're gonna get Sam Howell probably this week, or an injured Geno Smith with no time to throw the football.
That's true. Geno's terrible this year. No, you're right. Geno's been terrible.
I don't think DK's had more than 4 targets lately. Let me double check that.
Game before last, he got about 8. I know because I played a prop and I lost. Let's take a look.
Oh, more than 4 receptions. That's what I was looking at yesterday. 3, 4, 4, 4. And then he had 7. And then it was bye week, hurt, and then 4, 3, 4. He's only had more than 4. Guru, he's only had more than 4 receptions 3 times this year and hasn't scored since week 7.
All right, so we're gonna go with Neighbors, and I'm gonna go Garendo, even though it's not the best matchup. But hey, he did pretty well. Like we said, like last week, we weren't expecting nothing. I wasn't expecting a damn thing, and he still got 10 points in a rough, brutal game for their offense. I mean,
he's got a great floor, especially that was a short week as well. And Shakir to the Patriots, I think this game is over in quarter 2, unless Josh Allen's out there stat padding, which would probably be a rush from the 1-yard line as he does anyway. Tough to see Shakir getting the upside there. I think Garendo could break one. I like your call. I like your call here.
I'm not feeling great about Shakir this week. I don't think they're going to have to throw much. And they do play a lot of man. He's been all right against man. Going into this game, he's averaging, I think, 2.0 yard per route run, which is pretty good, but you don't love him against man. So yeah. He was one of my touchdown props. Once again, I had 3 guys where I lost the prop, but they scored. Garrett Wilson, Shakir, and somebody else. But yeah, thanks, Ethan. Shout out to South Jersey. I don't miss South Jersey. I don't know why. It's weird because moving down here in the summer, I just feel like I'm perpetually in the summer. Basically, I've not felt the seasons. There's no leaves really like browning up and falling all over the place. It's a little weird. So I'm in like I don't know. I'm like perpetually in the summer. It's a little weird.
Guru, we have something interesting that I feel like is worth mentioning.
Okay.
Across the Twitter timeline. Tyreek Hill just posted on Twitter. It's time for me to go, coach.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Tyreek is
obviously speculation here with Tyreek and what he means by this. Like, it's time for me to get going. It's time for me to, amp up, rev up,
right.
or maybe, it's time for me to get out of here if this is our offense. Obviously, it's going to send Twitter ablaze over the next couple days leading into the playoffs. But just an interesting, fun, classic wide receiver tweet. The
Yeah,
Denny
very
Carter meme lives
this.
forever. That his wide receiver meme is just gonna live forever with these guys because every single year somebody is cryptically tweeting about their team or their coach or whatever. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun for the
Well,
playoffs. Just a fun little tidbit heading into our playoffs.
yeah.
That's fun.
Well, I here's how I would look at that. Okay, where are they in the playoff run? Are they dead?
They are out. Yeah,
Are they out?
it looks like they're out.
Well, they're 2 games back of the Chargers.
I think they need a miracle.
Right. Well, then
to-
I would lean negative on. I would mean out, meaning out the door, out the building. That not breakout.
But
You
he
know what I
said
mean?
coach. That's what's weird to me. He didn't diss the team. He didn't
Well, Mike
It's just,
McDaniel, I love Mike McDaniel. I've told the story a million times, but I had a hysterical interaction with him at the combine for about 5 minutes, where I kind of yelled at him for pumping up Jalen Waddle. I was like, "Yo, coach, can you simmer down a little bit on that Jalen Waddle fantasy talk?" I'm like, "You're gonna put me out of a job." I was kidding, and he was like, "Oh, whoa, hold on a second." He's like, "Whoa, I'm Mike McDaniel." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, dude. You're the coach of the Dolphins." It was hysterical, and I love him. I think he's the most interesting head coach I've ever seen, quite frankly, in terms of what he says and how he acts and all that. But bottom line is, he's kind of been exposed this year.
Yeah, he's not have a good record against competitive teams either.
I mean, teams took away what they were doing the first. By the way, how did last years to figure it out? They figured it out this year, right? Storm to where them decided with Tyreek a little bit. I don't know about that. So I would ask McDaniel is big one trick pony.
It definitely feels like he's a little bit of a one-trick pony, and teams possibly could have figured him out, like you said. It's just you could blame a lot on injuries, and then his quarterback deciding to tackle people with his head for some reason,
True.
being unwilling to slide, and then what do we do? But at the same time, a coach's ability to adapt or die is what
Right.
separates them. And I mean, Sean McVay was competitive, if not won the game. I can't quite remember, with Baker Mayfield being in the building for 3 days.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
being
and we've
able
seen it
to
before.
so being able to adapt or die is what separates these guys. I just don't think he's that guy. I think he's got a little bit more work to do as an offensive coordinator, perhaps, and the direction for leading these types of personalities, if you would.
Yeah,
But
and
I think he's gonna be another job.
Yeah, I don't get a warm and fuzzy feeling when I watched him on one of the Hard Knockses or what they were on Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah.
You love the guy. He's like, I'm not sure he's like the leader of men.
Not
You know what I
right
mean?
now. Not right now. There could be a time.
Yeah.
But
He's no Mike
right
Tomlin.
now, no. There's only one of those.
We matriculate. I do very good in Mike Tomlin. Very deep. Anyway.
Could you imagine a world where Pittsburgh fans got their wish and Mike Tomlin was fired? Like, that man would be out of a job for seconds.
In my body language, I was literally walking down the street with Mike Tomlin in Mobile, Alabama, late at night. He's walking back to his hotel. I'm walking back to mine. It's not that late. It's like freaking 10 o'clock or something. You want to talk about a man who is feeling himself, just the way he carries himself and walks around. It's a little arrogant, but you're like, hey, I get it, man. You're the man. That guy feels himself. I'll tell you. I'll say it like that.
Yeah, he's unreal. He's a Hall of
Yeah.
Fame coach, and the fact that people in Pittsburgh actually want that guy gone is, I don't know. I think you're a little delusional.
Took all the strength I had though, not to yell, "Yo, coach, man, enough with this Canada." Okay.
Yeah, enough with that. Matt Canada gave the country of Canada a bad name by association, even though there was very little association. He tried to ruin it. He tried to ruin it for us.
We had a little show. I think it was what is that in there and why with Cart the Eric guy. What the? Why am I not picking this up? Blame Canada. Yeah.
South Park.
South Park. Yeah, I didn't like South Park. I'm not a South Park guy.
Yeah, they've also come at Canadians a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah. We use that clip to blame Canada.
Yeah, that guy was terrible. But Shiraz has a question here. He says, "Merry Xmas and happy holidays, guys. Should he start Anthony Richardson or pick up Cooper Rush? Yes, I'm still alive in the playoffs, but thanks to you, Guru, and your trade advice in the Week 3 article, best fantasy info in the biz."
What was that trade advice? It was a pretty good year. Again, I think it's, I hate to say it, but I kind of think they're always good now because I do spend a F load of time. Now I got to see who I had in there in Week 3. I'm sure there were some bad calls in there. But by the way, that's the thing with the trade market. Like, we're not doing this for 12 weeks in Week 3. We're just like, just get me out of the next 4 or 5. Like, it's like 4-week increments almost. Let's see. Week 3, well, Jordan Love, wasn't great. Jahmyr Gibbs, Ayuk, that's not good. What the hell good? Brian Thomas, okay. What else? This wasn't a great week here. I had Purdy on there, Olave, all these dudes that got hurt. Must have been another week. I did have Malik Neighbors on there and Tyreek as a sell. Must have been a better week, another week. But anyways, sorry. I think I'm sucking it up with Richardson because I just noticed it was not a good it's not a good schematic matchup. It is a good one. I still think Richardson. I hate to say it. I trust the cheat a little bit more than I trust Cooper. What do you think, Thomas?
I'm not playing Cooper Rush in my playoffs. I think you'd have to pay me to do so. I don't want to play Anthony Richardson either. Like, let's just be real. But Cooper Rush has had the game of his life against the Panthers. If there's ever like a trap week to come back from, it's this one. I'm out. They can both give you 0, right? But who's more likely to have 20 to 30 and break it open? It's AR. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like, look at the Taylor fumble, the Michael Pittman Jr. fumble,
right?
Changed that game. The absolutely atrocious pick 6. Like, let's just call that what it was. But you're 1 rushing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns away, and a bomb from having 30. Realistically,
against Tennessee, that's not an offense most likely that's going to light it up and force you to get off schedule. So I think you'll be able to continue to ball and pick your spots. Yeah, we're lucky to get 15 points, but that's what we're dealing with here. 2 low and guys. Like, who's a better bet to get 15 points? I'm going to go AR there.
Yeah, he just on the running alone. And that's why we do it. Cooper Rush doesn't have Carolina coming back this week. Let's keep that.
Oh yeah.
In mind. Jason H says, "Good morning. Would you bench Knicks for Rush this week?" I'm leaning no here, Guru.
Friggin' Knicks last week. What in the wide world of sports happened with that one? Because for the first time, I believe I backed this guy because I'm still not a total believer, and he killed me. I mean, what the hell was that? And this is a rematch, right?
Well, I believe so. The thing with Knicks is like, yes, he was bad this last week. He still scored 3 touchdowns.
True.
So,
That is
like,
that is true. That
if
is
that's
very
the
true.
worst we're gonna get from Bo Nix, and it just
Yeah,
so happens to also come with 3 touchdowns, I
fair.
mean, I'm all right.
Yeah, fair. He threw 2 and for 216 with a pick in the first meeting. He also ran 6 times for 61. Yeah, we're 1,000,000% going with Bo Nix over Rush, and we're sleeping like a baby, Jason. I don't give a rat's patootie what happens. That's the body of work, obviously. Very good. I mean, look at this crap. This is unbelievable. 3 touchdowns. 1, 2, 4, 2, 0, 3. I mean, that's pretty good over the last 2 months. I mean, he's been way better than I. What else do we have?
We have Andrew with the full PPR need 1, Thielen, Cooper, Adunze, and Andrew, I'll say Guru has retired from kicker analysis. So I don't know if we have that guy for you. Aubrey.
Sorry.
That always Aubrey. There we go.
Yeah, he tried harder this week. Very good. The is looking good. Our guy already had a day feeling that he's long to me. Adam averages 0.3 per route run against sixth in EL, and he averages 2.72 yard per run. Average runs the most too high in the NFL the last 4 years, and give up the 3rd most fantasy per drop back in too high coverage. So Allen is in. What the hell happened to Amari Cooper last week? Can anyone tell me?
I think it's just the offense, Guru. I think they just like to spread it out.
I mean, by the way, Brady, good. I think they really a great thing getting rid of Ken Dorsey, because I saw Ken Dorsey crumple up his paper and throw it and scream in a press box in anger. I'm like, it's not the guy right there. I mean, I feel the passion, I get it, to an extent, but I don't want the mastermind to be that frustrated to have a little conniption there in the box. And his body wasn't that good anyway. But Brady is it's good. Now, one of the problems with Brady is that it's too good, because again, we don't have things to hang our hat on. It's a little week to week. That said, I mean, Odunze is getting targeted more frequently. I think I probably would go Odunze over Cooper at this point.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would for sure. I like that call. Yeah, the thing with Brady is he's got a guy named Josh Allen, which I think makes a lot of people look really good.
Yeah.
I think
And
it also comes down to Kincaid and Coleman were healthy for like the first time their entire receiving core was healthy, and it just means good luck.
Well, I mean, of course, Matt Collins, you got to get Matt Collins the ball. So I mean, it's total week to week, because the week before we're backpatting the love we gave him. He had 14 targets. You go from 14 to freaking, didn't he get 0 last week?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God. I mean, that is bizarre. Like, what? 0? Jesus. That's unbelievable. So we can't do a dude who just got 0 targets. Let me see the snaps. I mean, the snaps weren't great. 46%. That's not good. What the hell? Yeah. All right. Adunze and Thielen.
Adunze and Thielen for sure for me. Adam, I see your super chat. Do not see your question. So if you are here, I'm looking for it right now, and I just don't see it. Yeah, ask away, and I'll make sure to get to it. For people wondering, yes, we do. We're working through some connection stuff. I see the comments, but we're working through it. We got you. Don't worry, we're locking in. We have a bunch of questions. I'm going to be skimming through some of my favorite because it would be impossible to get through all of them without being here for multiple hours, which we do not have. So if you have to ask a question, we appreciate you and we love you. We're going to get to as many as we can, but I'm looking for some of the more different ones. We're going to go here with Mark Farmer, Guru, and Tommy T. Just want to say thank you for all your advice this season. I'm not even going to try to enunciate that word because
Lugubrious.
that's the one.
Yeah.
As I'm out, but looking forward to the FFPC playoff challenge. Are you going to be taking questions? Like we said, this is earlier in the morning. Yes, we're taking questions. We're just having a little bit of a chat. This morning, just, having a good time here.
Is the connection problem do you think, or?
I don't know. Some people have said that we've got some cutoff, a little bit of lag stuff, but I mean, for the most part, like I said, we are working through it. So
I'm gonna have
not
to
the biggest deal.
tweet. You want to hear a conspiracy theory? I've had internet is jump in broadcasting. I have it's Comcast, Xfinity, whatever the hell you want to call it. I have I'm maxed out. It's not fiber optic, but I'm maxed out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get a hold of a human. Just nothing. Somebody tweeted me, and I just happened to tweet back, and I tagged Comcast. I'm like, yeah, well, if Comcast would get off, Xfinity would get off their collective sorry asses, maybe I would have internet. And then, boom, all of a sudden, I get some notification from like a robot. Oh, would you like to set up an appointment? I'm like, oh, that was fishy. I mean, are we really all that connected to where the bots are like running the internet on the back channels? I mean, what the hell, man? So I might have to rip Xfinity publicly today to get some help.
I mean, hey, if it works, it works.
You know what? Maybe I'll do that right now because somebody tweeted me like, let's see here. Anyway, you can pull up a next question.
We will. I live for the Guru tweeting at Xfinity. That's what everyone needs on this hump day. That's why we're here. That's what it gets the people going.
Yeah.
We have a question with Dan Casey. May Wilson or Cooper Rush? A lot of Cooper Rush happen.
Okay. Not the greatest spot for May, but I don't think I'm feeling warm and fuzzy about Russ. That's for sure.
No Pickens is real rough.
So it's May or Rush. On one hand, as I wrote in the waiver wire, I'm like, hey, he doesn't have great matchups, but there's something to be said for raw talent, pedigree, young youth, is running, all that, he'll probably have to run a lot. Yeah, I'm going to go May. I'm going May.
His little flip pass was unreal. Just a little.
Yeah. But here's the thing too about, granted, it's a pretty good matchup here for Rush, but what did I say a week or two ago? I'm like, I'm done with all secondary Cowboys because it's Lamb and it's Rico, and that's it. Not even my guy Ferguson. They're just gonna run the ball. That's it. They get out of the season by running the ball with Rico. And if the game's somewhat close, he's getting the ball. So forget it. So I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, I like the May call. He can get there with his legs. So I like that one a lot. We have another interesting quarterback question. Richardson, Bo Nix, or Baker? This one is interesting to me. I have an easy answer for this, but I'd like to know yours.
Definitely not Richardson.
Definitely not.
Let's see here. Baker. Baker. I'm going Baker.
That was my easy answer.
Yeah.
They're stat chasing for Mike Evans, and Baker is also just balling out. We haven't bailed on this offense yet. I'm sure as hell not doing it.
I mean, Baker Mayfield in his last 4 games is Absolutely. Now he's throwing some picks, completing 70.4% of his passes for a 9.3 YPA. That's absurd, basically. Dallas, they're down six. I mean, 260 passing per game. They're good. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got to do
Dell
that.
or Watson? Probably Watson. Let me see here. I mean, Dell is dead.
Yeah, he is. It's bad.
Have a positive schematic, probably because they play Watson. Yeah, but how many good games has Dell had this year? 2?
Yeah, if that.
I'm going Watson.
Yeah, I'm going Watson as well. His air yardage goes up when Dobbs is in. I mean, it's odd. Yeah, I mentioned this on matchup points when I was on that when Dobbs is in, Jaden Reed's role gets diminished, and it boosts Christian Watson's. So I'm inclined to agree with you 100%. Couple more. We're gonna get to a couple more before we get out of here. Justin says lots of questions. I know. We're gonna get to a couple more before we get out of here. Not too many more, but a couple more. I'm just looking for.
Oh, Griffin McShane. Good luck with
says,
that Christian Watson call, Mr. McShane.
Jason H said Tyreek followed up with a tweet that said I might get my first gray hair this year. So, interesting. I like this question from Stephen Flatt in PPR. Rashad White, Reminder Stevenson, or Jamison Williams? Again, I have an easy answer here. I'd love to hear your take.
Yeah. Well, Ramondre did all right last week. I should have played his damn prop. It was like 49 yards. I'm like, that's pretty good. Rashad, Jamo against Chicago. I'm not really loving him against Chicago here. Let's see what he's done in that matchup real quick. And he's done diddly poo in his last 3. He's got 1 tutty, averaging 2 grabs for 24. And what did he do in the first man? Of course, we're going back there last year, which is not really that meaningful. But let me see what he did in that matchup first time around. Yeah, he didn't do crap. He had 5 for 28. But yeah, I think I'm going White. I'm going White there because, Bucky's still a little limited, right?
He didn't look limited. 100 yards on the ground. He looked really good. The thing, I'm also going with White. That's because I don't think it matters if Bucky's 100% healthy or not. He's a 16 point per game player, damn near.
Yeah.
I
just mean like
valuable backfield. Like it's.
I just mean the snaps were somewhat limited with Bucky.
Oh yeah. Week. Well, I just think that's a product of how that game environment went, and they do rotate their backs quite a bit. But the important thing is no Sean Tucker. That's what we're looking for. Rashad White had 51% of the snaps at 14.1 points. I mean, he rushed for his last 3 games, Guru, 6.9, 5.9, and 4.2 yards per carry.
That's right.
The old meme of his efficiency seems to be dwindling. He scored.
I said that. I've been saying that for 2 years now. Like, give the man a break. I never said he was a stud who's going to create all this production on his own. You got to freaking block it up for the man a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happened. So thank God.
And I think limiting his touches has helped. Give him the old keep him fresh as well. Mix it up with him a little bit, which has been good. He's just been good all year. I'm not taking him out of my lineups now.
How about the fact that right now Bucky Irving has literally, let's see here. I mean, he's got like 0.4 more points. They're literally together. Bucky has scored 187.7 and White is 186.2. That's pretty wild. It's 1.5 points total.
Mm-hmm.
Total. That's crazy.
Yep. And I can't take him out of my lineups. I can't do it. Cannot do it. Let's get to at least one more here. Grade A fantasy. Good morning, fellas. First round bye is gone in the semifinals and dropped Algier and Amari Cooper. Picked up McMillan and Jerome Ford in a 1-point PPR. Get some thoughts. I think this is a smash decision.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's a little bit of, if 10 points will make you happy, I think Ford. If I needed a blow up game, I'd bank on if you want to bank on a blow up game and you need a blow up game, I would have to go McMillan there. So yeah, I mean, I would love to, if it would be Ford if it wasn't DTR, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I
I
would
mean,
say Ford is the safest bet for 10 points. McMillan has got the 15 plus upside. What were we going to say?
I was just gonna say, I mean, Algier isn't exactly. I was making a joke in our Discord this weekend that every time Tyler Algier changes direction, it looks like it physically hurts him.
Yeah,
Like he looks like an
yeah,
18-wheeler on a racetrack.
he
Like
does.
it's not good to watch him change directions. He's just when we like to call running backs fat ass running backs on dynasty points because they're big, thick plotters with not a lot. He is beyond that
He is
in
beyond
terms of
that.
running back. He's no more than a backup handcuff.
What do you think about this call, though? Ford or
I love
McMillan?
this call. I mean, I just take McMillan. Like I
You'd go
think
McMillan?
I think McMillan's the best player for the playoffs in terms of like range of outcomes
Yeah,
out of this group. And
that's
then you
fair.
get Jerome Ford busted 80 yards. He looks explosive. Yeah, DTR sucks, but I think that just means they lean on Ford a little bit and catch some check downs. I mean, if you tell me that Jerome Ford and Algier scored the same this week, I'd be like, yeah, of course he did. Like, and then if you also said, well, Jerome Ford outscored Algier by quite a bit this week, I'd be like, of course he did.
Oh, this isn't necessarily, this isn't necessarily a question. It's just like thoughts on it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, those are
he's just
good.
wanting
No,
our
those are
thoughts
good.
here.
Those
Yeah,
are good. Cowboys
that's
giving up 15 catches a game in the last 4 to wideouts. Pretty healthy, 68% catch rate. Not bad. 12 yards of grab, not bad. They're giving up 40 points a game. That's a big number here. And then Ford, yeah, I mean, I've always liked Ford. That's why I have him on my roster in our Fantasy Points Dynasty League. I picked him up, I don't know, years ago. But I've always been a Ford guy, although I've never owned a Ford vehicle. But yeah, he's good receiver. They're getting run on a little bit. They're not scary, are the Bengals. That's been their strength, but they've been weakened a little bit lately, and they do give up catches. So, I mean, we should get 4 grabs, hopefully, from DTR. But yeah, I think those are good moves.
Yeah, I think the great moves. Let's end on our good friend Lightning Lord 22, who left a comment about my Lego collection that I mentioned last week on the YouTube page. Lightning Lord, in the off season, I will do a Lego walkthrough for
Whoa.
everyone in Discord. We do have a games and social channel in there if you want to pop in and talk hobbies and things like that. We have that to kind of just get in touch with our subscribers that I
Nice.
put in here this last year, and it's been going really well. You want to talk Legos? Come on by. I got quite a bit because I'm a man child. But anyway, it's a happy Wednesdays, guys. Full PPR, Strange Craft, or will Hunter Henry be once again in the hen house?
Yeah. By the way, if I left my house right now, I could drive to Legoland
I'm so jealous.
and be there by 3 p.m. Eastern. But I told a story last week about when I took my family to Legoland in Los
did.
Angeles, right?
Yes.
And this was, what year was this? I mean, it was like 2013. So it was over a decade ago. It was like 1180 to bring in 2 kids and me and my wife. 1100 for the day. I think I'm going Strange here.
I would too. Quite easily too, by the way. Like I wouldn't even. This isn't even a mess around and find out scenario for me. This is just like an easy click. Brenton Strange.
Absolutely.
Yep. Has to
Thomas loves. He's a married man, but he loves Strange.
Yes, sir. I mean, there's a reason. The reason this ring's on the finger, if you know what I mean. Anti-Misanthrope said, El Nostra Thomas, Lego stream. Where do I sign up? That might be live on the TikTok channel in the off season. I might build some Lego maybe and answer fantasy football questions in the off season. Who knows? Lots of content coming for Fantasy Points this year. And now that I have considerably more time in the off season to do it, we'll see what kind of weird stuff we can come up with for our subscribers and keep it fresh here, Mr. Guru. That being said, I think that about does it. We have one more tight end question. We have one more tight end question. Anti, you're going to make me download TikTok? I might put it on Twitch. We don't know yet. Me and Trey got to sit down and figure that out. But Rod wants to know if you're going Patty Fries or Brenton Strange.
I did like Patty Fries last week. Won that touchdown prop. It was like plus 350. It was an unbelievable one. But hasn't done crap in this matchup in his last two, including this year, right? He didn't do diddly poo. No, it's Strange all day. All day.
Yep. All day. Agreed. I agree. Guru, that's going to do it for the questions today. We battled through. We delivered for the people here on a week 16 hump day. You want to let them know what's going on for next Wednesday? Because I believe we said we're going to do a quick little holiday.
Yeah. Is that Christmas Day? Or
that is it?
Oh, right.
That would be the Wednesday.
That's how terrible I am. I mean, that's up to that's more up to you. Like, I will be in my house. I will not be doing anything other than normal prep, Guru,
I wouldn't miss it. I think we could do a quick little holiday half hour and we can talk holiday dinners.
We have two games. We got
two games to talk about that day. Obviously, one of them I'm very invested in. Let's just be real. Cannot wait to tilt over that. So absolutely wouldn't miss it here next week for everyone. Nice and early for the holidays. We're going to get in here and just have a great time next weekend. I'm excited for next week, I should say. I'm very excited about that. And I look forward to it. Fun story. You want to talk about how bad you've don't know what week it is? Last Saturday, I'm getting dressed. I'm getting ready. My friend's birthday. I'm supposed to pick him up. I drive across the city of Winnipeg. I get to his house. I text his wife it's kind of a surprise that I'm picking him up. And I go, I'm here. And she goes, what do you mean? His birthday's this weekend, Guru.
Oops.
So that is how dialed in we are for.
You could do like me and just not have any idea of anyone's birthday at all and never have that happen to you ever again. And you never acknowledge or care. I work with Adam Kaplan for 20 years. I think I probably said happy birthday to him like 5 of them. And he said it to me 4. But hey, younger generations, you guys are a little bit more into your birthdays because you kind of think that, the world revolves around you.
I like that it revolves around me at least once a year, Guru. At least that's what my wife says.
I'm of the age that, what's that? You turn 21? No one gives a shit about your birthday for the rest of your life.
That's fair. That's fair. I love that. That's good.
But we'll do 30 minutes.
Yes.
On the Christmas games.
Yes.
And just a check in to say hello and Merry Christmas. And then the next day we can return and do the normal Thursday live stream.
Yes. I love that.
What we'll do.
I think that is exactly the way to go. I love that. And I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Because we don't go outside, so it's really only just 35 minutes of our time. Let's be honest.
We've established that outside is a barren wasteland that we want no part of. Mad Max style. No thanks. I'll stay in.
By the way, Mad
Uh,
Max. It's funny you mentioned Mad Max because about 2 weeks ago, I was in the mood to watch like an older movie, and I popped in. One of my favorites from the 80s was Beyond Thunderdome. That's a badass movie. Period.
Yes.
Badass movie. And you had to be around at the time to truly appreciate it. Because watching it now, it's like, yeah, it's good. It's very good. But back then, man, when that came out in 85, I believe, that shit was tight right there. I mean, that was a film. But on that note, let's end it here.
Sure.
Still have plenty of work to do here for week 16, of course. I will be toiling away on my Hansen Since column. We're going to do the live stream as always. And yeah, same old week, same old schedule this week. Next week will be a little weird. But for Tommy T-Bone, I'm John. Thank you for tuning into Hump Day with Hansen here at FantasyPoints.com.
What? Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome.